There's no doubt that MLB The Show 18 is the best baseball video game that money can buy you right now. Nobody's going out and buying RBI baseball, let's be honest. But just because it's the best baseball game out there doesn't mean that it is perfect. There are still issues. We have gameplay issues, which we're not going to really go into in this video. As you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about some of the rating issues on this game. It's pretty funny, some of the ratings that they have in here, because there's some bad ones. Now, before we get going into the list of ratings that I have found to be just a little bit off, I'd love to know the ones that you think are off in this game down in the comment section below. Let me know what players' ratings just aren't right, because let me tell you, there's quite a few. Now, one thing that MLB The Show 18 does well in ratings is the overall player rating. The overalls tend to be pretty accurate. You've got Mike Trout as the best hitter, Scherzer and Kershaw as the best pitchers. I mean, I don't think anybody really disagrees with that. But when you go deeper into the stats of the player, individual stats, there's some things that are a little bit iffy. Now, the hitting, they seem to get down pretty well. The pitching, they seem to get down pretty well. But when it comes to fielding and running speed, sometimes you just scratch your head and go, what were they thinking? Which leads us into by far the worst rating in MLB The Show 18, which is Nolan Arenado's reaction rating on his fielding of 68. So when you go to break down his stats more, he has 98 fielding at third base, which I think is very accurate. That's right. 87 arm strength, with honestly, I feel like is a little bit low, but just because of how insane this reaction rating is, I don't even worry about this one. How does he have 68 reaction? You're gonna see on the screen, I'm gonna be putting video clips of him in real life, and you tell me how that comes out to 68 reaction, because when you see these plays, I don't know how someone with 68 reaction can't field them. And then when you go into the game, 68 reaction, it tends to hurt you. Here's a clip that I got of Nolan Arenado playing third base where he just can't field it. I don't understand it. Now, even to the average baseball fan, when you look at the numbers on his ratings, 98 fielding and 68 reaction, you don't have to be too smart to know that that doesn't even make any sense. How can you be a great fielder but have bad reactions? That just doesn't, that's not how baseball works. So yes, MLB The Show 18, San Diego Studios, please, #fix Arenado's reactions, because 68 is just absolutely disgusting to give the man. It's disrespectful. Coming up next on our list, we're gonna go with two catchers here, because for some reason they just can't get catchers' arm strength correct either. The two catchers we're talking about are Jorge Alfaro of the Philadelphia Phillies and JT Realmuto of the Miami Marlins. Now, I know what you're thinking. JT Realmuto's speed 70, that's about right. They fixed it from last year. Yes, they did. But we're talking about arm strength with these two guys today. And even Alfaro a little bit later on with his speed. He's actually quite fast. There are multiple videos, StatCast giving you the miles per hour on the throws from Jorge Alfaro, where he has thrown the ball 89 miles an hour plus at least 3 times. He's the only catcher doing in the MLB this year, and he's done it 3+ times, 91 being one of them against the Mets, which is just disgusting behind the dish. And then the other 2 are above 89, which again are the hardest throws by catchers in the major leagues this season. When you look at the average velocity from the arms behind the dish, Jorge Alfaro is number 1 with 90 miles an hour plus. And yet when you look at this guy's card in MLB The Show 18, he has 73 arm strength. 73. This puts him behind guys like Gary Sanchez, who granted has an absolute cannon, 84 arm strength in the game on MLB The Show 18, but on the arm velocity boards for catchers, he's 6th. Buster Posey has a 76th arm. Buster Posey is 22nd on the velocity of catchers. Fun fact, Brian McCann has an 80 arm strength in the game on MLB The Show 18 live series. He's 77th. 77th in velocity for catchers. Jorge Alfaro is number 1. So how are you going to tell me that he doesn't deserve to have the best arm strength behind the dish for a catcher in this game? It's mind-blowing, and honestly, it almost gets worse with JT Realmuto, because JT Realmuto ranks third in all of baseball in the best arms behind the dish at 87.6 miles per hour on average on his throws from behind the dish. You want to know what his arm strength is? Ooh, I bet you can't guess. JT Realmuto's arm strength is 64. 64. Almost every single catcher in the game that's a live series has a better arm strength rating than JT Realmuto, yet Realmuto ranks third in the average velocity from throws behind the dish. Take a look at Tucker Barnhart. His arm, not too great. His average throw is 78 miles an hour, which is almost 10 miles an hour slower than JT Realmuto's, yet his arm is rated 3 points better than Realmuto in the game. I don't understand the logic behind this. Update his arm, please. So yeah, catcher's arms, they really, there's statistics to prove it. They're not using it. Please, MLB The Show, San Diego Studios, take a look at the arm velocities, because you're missing out on guys like Alfaro and Real Muto who deserve major arm upgrades. Those aren't the only arms that they kind of don't show enough props to. There's a few other players that also deserve to have better arms. Now, there's a few guys in the outfield, but one in particular that I'm going to talk about is Brett Phillips. Now, I know he's not playing for the Brewers right now. He is in the minors. But Brett Phillips has to have one of the best arms in Major League Baseball, like ever. You take a look at StatCast from 2017, and Brett Phillips, out of all the outfielders, was dominating the average throws constantly, consistently hitting over 103 miles an hour on his throws. Now listen, Brett Phillips doesn't have a bad arm rating in this game. It is 84, but to play devil's advocate here, you do give Yoenis Cespedes a 99 arm, and his numbers haven't come close to this as consistently as Brett Phillips. So when it comes down to consistency's sake, I think you have to give the guy a better rating for his arm. I know that none of these ratings are game-breaking or anything like that, but when it comes down to accuracy and realism in the game, these are things that they need to get right. And who knows, down the line, this could make a huge difference for guys in the game. They could become extremely playable. Their ratings are going to go way up, too. So, I mean, go ahead and update some arm ratings here. Even guys like Bradley Zimmer consistently pop up on these lists, and their arm rating still isn't that great. And I know I brought up Yoenis Cespedes, but another guy that I'd like to bring up because it's very similar to, they both have absolutely phenomenal arms, but Brett Phillips isn't getting the love that he is getting, is Kevin Kiermaier, who has a 97 arm in this game. 97. Yet Brett Phillips is consistently throwing the ball harder than almost every single outfielder in Major League Baseball last year. Just something to think about. More ratings that need to be fixed. Arm strength. There's stuff that measures this guy's miles per hour, yet they just choose to not use it. I don't get it. Another player I need to talk about is Carlos Correa. This dude has an absolute cannon, and yet his arm rating, well, you can guess it's pretty low. Now, they may not be giving him the noodle arm that they've given JT Realmuto, but 70 arm strength on Carlos Correa. I mean, are we serious here? Are we serious? I'm gonna show you a video from StatCast back in 2016, which I guess is a couple years ago, so maybe you'd be like, oh, his arm's gotten weaker than then. I'm gonna guess it hasn't, because if you've seen the dude play, you can visually tell he has a ridiculously good arm. But here you go. 2016, Carlos Correa fielding a ground ball makes the fastest throw by a shortstop in 2016 at 92.9 miles per hour, which is disgusting from an infielder. Yet he still has a 70 arm strength in this game. I don't understand it. Now, I'm not saying he should have 99, but maybe just 80. 85. I mean, this is a big play in this game because shortstops need to have good arms in this game. There's been a lot of issues with players beating out weak ground balls or shortstop. Give this man the arm he deserves, and he's even more playable than he already is. I want to use this guy, but his arm is just weak. Now, we're going to highlight one more guy before we do get going into the majority of the rest of the stats that we're just going to run through quickly to prove that are wrong. But the one guy that we're going to talk about is Harrison Bader. Now, maybe it's because he's so new to the league. He's only played, a handful of games here and there. But there's a lot of stats to prove that these numbers just ain't right. So let's get started off with Harrison Bader's speed. It's 62 overall. You know what here he ranks in the StatCast sprint leaderboards this year? Overall, out of the entire major leagues? You're thinking maybe, I don't know, 50th, something like that. No, he's 5th. He's 5th overall. You know the guys that are ahead of him? Adam Engel, Billy Hamilton, Delino DeShields, and Byron Buxton, which are some of the fastest players in the game right now. Yet Harrison Bader has 62 speed. Now, I understand Acuna was the much more hyped player than Harrison Bader is, but they were quick to give him 90 speed when Harrison Bader is just as fast, if not faster than him. It's about a 28 rating difference right there, by the way. Malik Smith, another guy that Harrison Bader has ranked faster than this year on the StatCast leaderboards. 87 speed. He's ranked 11th. Harrison Bader's ranked 5th. And here's kind of my favorite one that we get to show. D. Gordon, ranked in the 20s for the ranking, which is still ridiculously fast. Don't get me wrong, that's still very fast. But he's got 94 speed. Harrison Bader, the 5th fastest player in the major leagues, has 62. I mean, come on, MLB The Show. You guys even said you're using StatCast this year to determine speed ratings. And you clearly are not, because this dude is so much faster than a 62. Oh, but I'm also not done there with Harrison Bader, because his fielding stats, well, they're a little screwed up too. Fielding-wise, 65. Now, I know they don't give fielding upgrades very often in this game, just because they like to do it at the end of the year, let's be honest. But 65 is not fair, and 70 reaction is not fair either, because when you see the plays that this guy has been making, you can tell, one, his reactions are really good out in the outfield to get to these balls, and two, he is a very good fielder. He can cover a lot of ground because one, he's faster than 62 speed, and two, he gets great jumps on the ball. So we need to see a fielding, reaction, speed. I don't even know about his arm. Don't really even care at this point because there's 3 other things that are more important to me. Number 1 being that 62 speed. I mean, my God, the dude is 5th overall. But yeah, as you can see from those plays, he deserves a fielding and reaction upgrade as well. Here are some of the other guys that deserve a speed upgrade as well. I'm going to tell you their in-game speed rating, and then I'll highlight them on the screen where they are ranked-wise in StatCast. So we've got JB Shuck at 63 speed, Trevor Story at 73 speed, Dustin Fowler at 61, Avisail Garcia at 68 speed, Ryan Rua at 50, Hunter Dozier's at 34 speed, and we got Jorge Alfaro, the 2nd fastest catcher in the major leagues, at 43 speed, and he's not far off from JT Realmuto, so, I mean, he deserves at least to be in the 60s. So what can we take out of this video? Obviously, the game is never going to be perfect in the ratings. I'm not mad at these guys. I just hope that they maybe see this and are like, hey, this Mark kid's onto something. Let's update some of these guys' ratings because they deserve it. You should make these players the best that they possibly can be in this game. And right now, there's some players that they're just not showing any love to. Hint, Harrison Bader, Carlos Correa, JT Realmuto, Jorge Alfaro, and Nolan Arenado 68 reactions. I mean, come on! So hopefully San Diego Studio sees this video, makes some changes because these players do deserve these upgrades in their ratings. It makes them more playable too, and then we get to have more variety with the cards. It just makes the game better overall. I would love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Did I miss anybody? Am I overreacting to this? I don't know. I mean, these ratings seem to be a bit off to me. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and enjoyed the content. We're going to be doing some better content on this channel, not just always gameplays. We're going to be doing stuff like this. You'll see. So if you want to see more of that, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on the content. You can click the bell icon too. I don't know if that thing works. People say it does. Don't forget to leave a like on the video as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you come back for another video. That's not how I end my videos. Oh, Jesus, it's been too long. Yeah, come back for another video. There'll be one here that you can click on. YouTube recommends it. There'll be one here that I recently uploaded. You can click that too. You could also click my face right below my real face, and that'll make you subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.